We are going ahead with the video, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Confused about your future career? Which program of study to take? What emerging and trending specializations to opt for? Are you going to have a great job and career after 4 years of study from now? Self-awareness will help you make the right and informed decision about the right program and the place that belongs to you in this era of industry and technology change. DSU, one of the leading universities in India, is among the top 3 universities in Karnataka and is coming back with its Right Career, Right Place, the webinar series 2023. A well-informed and inspiring webinar series, delivered by industry veterans and senior academicians, can lead you to choose the right career path based on your potential, passion, and industry trends. Our webinars will guide you from the current understanding of various programs to a more in-depth understanding of cutting-edge specializations based on new-age technologies. Join us to get insights about more thrilling career options that are available in future for you. Be the future leader, discover your purpose, and make the best decision for your futuristic career. Remember, after completing your degree, you should be in demand for trending and emerging job opportunities for your bright professional future. Right Career, Right Place, the webinar series 2023.
Dayanand Sagar University. Live the dream.
Confused?
Welcome to the School of Engineering at Dayanand Sagar University. Main campus, Harohaldi, Kanakpura Road, Bangalore. A place that values research, innovation, and creativity. Our industry-aligned curriculum offers a blend of theoretical knowledge, practical experience, academic projects, and internships for a rewarding career in engineering. With an interdisciplinary approach, you can explore your interests by selecting open electives. The on-campus innovation labs, led by professors of practice, provide immersive learning and expertise to find the best solutions to real industry problems and give a different dimension to the students' mini and major academic projects. Our Center for Entrepreneurship supports startup opportunities and provides a perfect platform to launch your next big idea into successful ventures. We also prepare you for advanced studies in the latest futuristic technologies. Our BTech programs offer the perfect combination of academic rigor and functional experience in this ever-evolving technological landscape of the future. Experience a whole new world of academic excellence in a global environment. Dayanand Sagar University. Live the dream.
So we are good to go live.
Yes, sir.
Hi, good morning to all of you, and a warm welcome to this beautiful and informative webinar every morning on the trends and the changes that you find today in electronics and communication engineering. In short, everybody would love to call it as ECE. But when it comes to students choosing their careers, especially when you look at engineering careers, students are always in a dilemma. What is it that I take up? What stream will be good for me? Do I have the instincts to go in for this kind of a stream or this kind of a specialization? And we have been flooded with a lot of emails, a lot of calls, where they would want to understand whether this is going to be the right stream for them. And that's where, in the last 3 years, Dayanand Sagar University has come up with this webinar series. We call it as Campus Info Sessions. And during these sessions, we invite not only the senior academicians from the university, but we also invite a lot of professors of practice and our friends from the industries, wherein they also come in and give a fair idea in terms of what is it that is in demand, what is it that is today asked by the industry, what are the applications that are working today. One thing that the student needs to understand, that it's not just about the career, but the program of study that they are going to choose. It's only after 4 years is where they are going to get onto a job. So they need to look at these kind of webinars where there is a clear indication given on how the industry is, what are the application orientations, what is it that you feel is going to be in demand over the next 4 years, what kind of placement, what kind of job roles, what kind of scenarios are going to be there when I start working. All of this is generally taken care in all of our webinar series. But today, we specifically talk about electronics and communication engineering. If you look at the topic today, we have taken it this year as the changing era. Electronics and communication engineering under the changing era. The new trends in electronics and communication industry. Today, we would also like to touch upon with the ECE, the specializations on AI and VLSI. AI, everybody is talking about it, but they also need to see the integration of AI today with the ECE and also the VLSI, which is an evergreen. It is an evergreen career. If you look at embedded systems, you look at VLSI, these are always evergreen. This has been there for ages. It will continue to be there for ages. Students need to understand that it's not only the computer science engineering, but now ECE with the new age specialization, and of course with the areas like VLSI and embedded, they definitely are going to be one of those students who are going to be in demand. So with this, we would like to get into the core webinar activity, and I would like to take the opportunity of welcoming the distinguished speakers for the day. I start by welcoming the Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. K.N.B. Murthy, sir. Sir is the professor and for computer science engineering and the vice chancellor at Dayanand Sagar University, Bangalore. Sir has also been the former vice chancellor for PES University, Bangalore. Sir holds a bachelor's degree in electrical power engineering, a master's degree in electrical engineering from Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore, and a PhD in computer science and engineering from Indian Institute of Technology, Madras. Sir has worked as a research specialist in parallel computing at New Mexico State University, US. Sir is the former member of Karnataka State Higher Education Council and the academic senate member of IIIT Dharwad. Sir, a warm welcome to you.
Thank you, Sinek. Thank you.
Our next speaker for the day is Dr. Amit Bhatt. He is currently the Pro Vice Chancellor at Dayanand Sagar University. Sir has got his BE from the MS University of Baroda and his master's from the Duke University and the PhD from the NC State University. He has more than 30 years of experience in academia as well as in the industry, both in India and in abroad. He was the founding faculty member of Dhirubhai Ambani Institute of ICT. In 2004, he served as a Fulbright scholar in UIUC. His areas of interest include processor design, low power VLSI design, AI/ML, and software development for multi-core processors. He has a passion for institution building. He has more than 70 publications in reputed journals. He has served on the board of studies and academic council in a number of institutes. Sir, a warm welcome to you.
Thank you.
I also like to introduce, as I spoke about it in the beginning, we also get in a lot of professors of practice and people from the industry who would like to share their expertise on this particular areas. So here we are. I'd like to introduce Professor Mr. Pankaj Bande. He's a dedicated, resourceful, and innovative professional offering an extensive experience of around 20 years in the areas of IoT, AI, digital voice assistants, chatbots, embedded systems, and mobile robotics, hardware and the software. Having used these skills in research and development, product design, education industry, as an entrepreneur, he is a mentor by choice and he derives extreme contentment in helping people build capability. He likes to ideate and innovate advanced technology solutions and specializes in following through projects. He likes to make teamwork engaging and interesting while not losing sight of the measurement of return on investment. He comes with a high degree of discipline and involvement and like to build self-sustainable people systems. A very warm welcome to you, Pankaj Mande sir.
Thank you, Chandra sir. Thank you.
So here we are. I would like to invite the Honorable Vice Chancellor sir to set the context and to share his views on this. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Shinde. Respected co-panelists, Dr. Amit Bhatt, Ms. Pankaj Bande, Ms. Shinde, and others who joined this webinar. Good morning to all the students and other invitees who are on this virtual info session. Extremely happy to be a part of this info session, sharing the insights of mine and also provide the context for this webinar. Dayanand Sagar University has been doing these info sessions in the last few years. The objective of this info session, now we called it as right career and right place, is to provide the information, is to create the awareness among the aspirants to make an informed choice. We have been doing this on every program of study that's being offered in the university. At the end of this webinar, if you're going to get the answers for the questions that you have, I think the purpose of this webinar or the info session is fulfilled. I'm also extremely happy to tell you that the webinars organized by Dayanand Sagar University are the webinars with a difference. We brief you about the program of study and what are the career opportunities in that program of study and what are the kind of preparations that you have to make to succeed in a program of study of your choice. When compared to the info sessions by other organizations, you see a difference. This webinar is going to stand out and you will realize it at the end of the session. I'm sure you'll be more happy having full information about the program of study. Today it's electronics and communication. Let me make few opening remarks which you need to consider before going ahead with the choice. The experts would tell you more about electronics communication. What I would do is to make some general observations. First and the foremost thing is, after +2, post +2, that's where the university education is going to start. It is like standing at a road intersection. When you go to a road intersection, there are several paths that are possible at the road intersection. You see lots of paths. You don't know which path to take. What needs to be done? That's the exact situation you are in today. Whenever it shows a path, that path leads to some career destination. And you need to decide which path is the right path to be taken. For taking the decision, you need to evaluate several points. The following are the important. One, which program of study is the right program of study for you to pursue? Second, which institution to study that to prosecute the studies in that program of study? That's the second thing. The third, what are the job opportunities? One estimate says that job opportunities in the future are going to be very, very high, extremely high. One estimate says the job opportunities today is around 4.1 crores across the globe. It is likely to grow to 19.1 crore jobs in the next 5 years, 38.5 crores in the next 10 years. Which field of study? All fields of study. Be it engineering, medicine, law, every program, field of study has job opportunities. Why this exponential growth? This exponential growth is mainly because of the transformations that are happening, the disruptions that are happening, the technologies that are introduced and being used, which we normally call it as a digital transformation. The digital transformation has created a lot more opportunities. Digital transformation has entered everyone's life in some way or the other. It has become a part and parcel of our lives today. One prediction that says, because of digital transformation, the future is being shaped by these digital disruptions. The future of work will be different. The future workforce will be different. The workplace will be different. Means whatever you have seen in the past, whatever you're going to see in the future are completely different. They're transformed because the use of technology in every walk of life. There's also another indication that's been made by the progressive institutions like World Economic Forum, NASCOM, there's several others. They've already made predictions that future jobs require what is called as application mindset. In the sense, in the past, the conceptual knowledge was given a lot of importance. Conceptual knowledge was the key. Later on, along with conceptual knowledge, you also need to have the skills. Skills and conceptual knowledge were the requirements in the recent past. In the future, you need to have the conceptual knowledge, skills, and also the application mindset. What is application mindset? How exactly you can use a concept to various applications. It's also true that in the future, the problems that we're going to solve are going to be complex in nature. They're going to be multidisciplinary in nature. Because of the multidisciplinary nature, it is necessary for the future workforce to have the multidisciplinary knowledge. What does it mean? It means apart from electronics and communication that you're going to study, or computer science that you're going to study, or commerce that you're going to study, you also need to study something outside the major, outside the main field of study. That may be management, that may be law, that may be the digital computation, or it could be artificial intelligence, some other skill you need to have, the knowledge that you need to have. Maybe biology, the knowledge of biology has also become a multidisciplinary nature. Apart from the main field of study, you also need to acquire several skills. To get that particular job, which is going to pay very high salaries in the future, you need to acquire those competencies. Therefore, you need to do two important things as of now. One, you make an audit of your talent. Means what is the talent that you have, what you're good at. Second, what is your passion? Which field is of your passion, which you like most? Third, the affordability. How much of expenditures involved in pursuing that field of study or program of study? What are the costs involved? You need to make an audit of this. Because mere having passion and talent are not enough. You also need to look at the affordability. Therefore, decide what is the right kind of combination that you get. Start listing out the options that you have. That's exactly what the order of preference. The order of preference is basically which course and which institution, and what are the kind of costs involved. If you start making a rough estimate, you prepare about 100 to 150 options. Then the best option that you get is the option that you need to exercise, because that option meets your talent, meets your passion, and also meets your affordability. I'm sure the experts would tell you more about the subject matter. All that I can conclude by saying that the job opportunities are plenty, irrespective of the program of study that you're going to study, the field of study. All that is required is you need to be ready, put in the hard work, to put in the effort required, to put in the time involved to achieve what you have in mind, what you want to be. And the other last thing that I would like to indicate, never ever settle down for a normal. You have abundant talent. Each one of you can do much more than what you normally think. Therefore, keep those passions going by aspiring for the best kind of career path, which will give you rich dividends, so that you give back to the society in the long run. With this few opening remarks, I thank the organizers for giving me this opportunity to be with you this morning. And I wish each one of you best of luck. And I'm very confident that each one of you would do really well with the kind of preparation that you have. Wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for the opening remarks and setting the context with the students. I would now like to invite Professor Dr. Amit Bhatt, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Shinde. Thanks for giving me an opportunity to speak to students. I would also like to thank our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Dr. Murthy, for setting up the right background for the discussions which we are going to do. I and my colleague, Mr. Pankaj Pandey, would try to address most of your concerns. I do understand that, I have passed through a very similar situation, that, after 12th, what should I study? And the biggest concern is, what if I make a wrong choice? if I go to a wrong branch, which I'm not interested in, then you know what? I think the new education policy has taken care of these things. And later on in my presentation to you, I would tell you exactly why we have kept many avenues to learn multiple things. So let me just start by telling you a couple of stories. You must have seen that in post-COVID period, when the world started opening up, suddenly there was a huge demand and waiting list for cars. Not only cars, but washing machines, laptops, microwave, you name it. And the reason given to that was that there is a terrible chip shortage in the market. Now, what this means is that, the chips or the electronics have pervaded our day-to-day life. We are using electronics where we don't even think that electronics exist. For example, when you use your washing machine, you don't think you are using some computer chips or, using a computer to wash your clothes. Nor do you realize when you turn on your set-top box to watch TV. And neither do you realize when you turn on your microwave. In fact, it is said that the price of a car is made up at the moment 35% of cost in electronics. And it is going to increase, and it will increase to such an extent that 50% of the cost of the car would be due to electronics. And then, you wonder why the car and what's the correlation between car and electronics. Well, automobile sector is the biggest user of electronics. Just imagine there is automatic fuel injection, anti-lock braking system, then, gearless car, auto shifting car. Everything requires a controller. And that controller, what we call as a processor, is the one which is controlling it. So a normal car today has 40 to 45 processors inside. So it is much more than your laptop you are using. Very soon, people would start calling car as a computer with wheels. There is so much electronics. Now, we got an idea that, electronics is all pervasive, it is everywhere. And now, you have this whole idea that, we are going towards smart devices. And how can you make device smart? How can you put intelligence or artificial intelligence in it? You have to have a chip. And, you have to program that chip to do something smart, which is beyond ordinary. So now you have smart TV, smartphone, smart cars, and, anything else you want to call smart. Washing machine? Yeah, of course. How about dishwasher? Smart dishwashers are available. So the degree of smartness is directly related to the electronics which is used in it. Now let us look at the second story. Again, very recent. Most of the governments around the world were very scared about the consequences of having chip shortage. They were all saying that our supply chains of electronics is cut. And due to this reason, Government of India has declared a huge plan, the semiconductor policy, in which government is going and giving billions of dollars for electronic fabrication company to set up their shop in India. This means that, India now, which is the largest country in the terms of population in the world, cannot afford to have no fabrication facilities in India. Now, I have put the context in front of you that why electronics is important and why it is everywhere. Now, let us start with a simple question which a student in 12th grade would have, because, I had that question. What does an electronics engineer do? So what would my starting job look like? Do I have to solder something? Do I have to work with a breadboard? Do I have to, work with oscilloscope? Well, in few cases you do, but in most of the cases, just like you use software, you also have to use software for electronic design. Now, electronics is divided into two parts. One is called fabless design. So you design your chip and you get the final output form in a file which is called GDS2 file. And that file is sent over to a foundry, and the foundry makes a chip out of it. So India is already a leading country in designing and called fabless production. You name it, any big company, and they have their design house in India. Qualcomm, yes. You have TI, Apple, Google. I mean, these are all companies making electronics. Yes, Google is in electronics in a big way. They are making their own chips for their warehouse applications. Then, you have analog devices, you have Samsung. They all have their design centers in India, and they recruit thousands of engineers every year. Now, these are all cutting edge engineers. And, you have great scope of, going forward. I know because, I myself have worked in companies in India like, Cadence and ARM. Cadence is a company which makes electronic design automation tools. And ARM, which is, designing processors which are used in your mobile phones and cars and TVs and everywhere. So these companies actually are looking for smart guys, who can help them. Yes, the entry-level thing is slightly higher because, this is not anyone, with a BCA type of education, can get into electronics. Electronics require certain level. But, once you enter in, the opportunities are endless. People are always looking for people with good background and, who can do wonderful stuff. Now, that is all about electronics. And, job opportunities, you tell me, if you come out with a great credentials, I will get you a job in one of the best companies. Now comes the second part. Electronics engineers, they sit in front of computer, use electronic design automation software tools and design a chip. And, that chip, when it is output is come, they send it to foundry. So a day of a electronics engineer is spent in front of a computer, just like any software engineer, using a particular software tool to design electronic product. Now, there are various job applications which are there for electronics engineer. You can design the first code of electronics in a language which is known as Verilog or VHDL. They are known as hardware description language. So just like you have a C language, the counterpart for electronics is Verilog. And it is, if you know C, you can learn Verilog very easily. So first you design a processor or anything that you want to make in Verilog. Then, you take it through various aspects of, front-end design tools and back-end design tools and what we call as VLSI design. And, there is an output. So there are lots of people required for these two functions. And there are a lot of sub-functions and there are jobs for each sub-function. Then there is a job opening in terms of validation, verification, testing. And India is a center which requires these people in a very large number. Now comes to the second part. Electronics is not just confined to VLSI. There is another huge part which is embedded system. So all the processors that you see in your cars, in your washing machine, in your any of this fridge, any of the product or your phone, they are all require embedded system programming. And that is what we teach you at DSU. Now, when you design this thing and, when you want to take a processor and a board, like, you will soon realize when you come to DSU and join the program, that there are small embedded boards which has got a tiny processor, tiny amount of memory, and then you make it work. You can make smart homes with it. You can make smart fridge with it. You can make autonomous car with it. You can make a self-parking car with it. You can make a robot with it. So the possibilities are endless. So now, enough about electronics and, what are the things that you can do. I told you about VLSI. I told you about embedded system. Now let me tell you about what we teach you at DSU. Now in DSU, we take a very holistic view. We feel that software and hardware cannot be separated. It is the time what we call at ICT. There is a software hardware co-design. You can design a good hardware. That means you can design a good chip if you know software well, and you can be a good software engineer if you know hardware well. Because all the good engineers or good programmers know the processor details inside out, so they can write a program which is suitable to run on that particular processor. And a good processor designer or a VLSI person is also expert in software. So for the first 2 years, whether you are in CSE or ECE, you would learn the same courses. So first 2 years, the foundation is the same. For next 2 years, we are strictly following the national education policy, which says that, a student should be given a choice of things to learn. So 50% of the courses in 3rd and 4th year are your whatever area that you have chosen. So suppose if you have chosen ECE, then 50% of the courses are geared towards ECE. Rest of the courses you can take as per your wish. So suppose you feel that, I want to be an electronics engineer and also want to keep my options open in data science. So can I study data science? Yes, of course you can study data science. I have I've taken ECE, but I'm also interested in AI/ML. Can I take courses in AI/ML? Yes, of course, you are free to take that. As long as you fulfill the requirement of your ECE core courses, there are 50% of the courses which are open to you. You can even take courses in management if you like. So this is what the spirit of national education policy is. And, you can say that, I want to keep my options open. I want to specialize in ECE, but, I also want to make sure that I also know AI/ML. You can most definitely do that. Now, the last thing, how I would like to see that, because there is a reason why we have this combination, a combined program for ECE and CSE for the first 2 years. And reason for that is, as I told you earlier, you can't be a good software engineer or good hardware engineer unless you know the other side. Now, you may say, okay, I also want to do AI/ML. And, I have heard about smart devices. So how are smart devices made? Well, take a small embedded system board, which is like, Arduino or, Raspberry Pi or Spark FunEdge. These are the boards which are widely used for embedded applications. You put AI/ML applications on top of it. And now there's a name for it, and it is known as edge computing. So that means you can do a smart thing on that thing itself. See, right now, when you say, hello, Alexa, or hey, Google, or, hey, Siri, what happens is that your phone listens to it for that keyword, and that, it is transferred to cloud. And then, the cloud answers it back, and, you get, response. Now, the new trend is things should be done as much as possible on the site itself for 2 reasons. First of all, you want to reduce latency. And number 2, you want to reduce the hacking risk. You don't want anyone to hack into your application because, what if someone hacks your car? It can, make your car stop in the middle of the road. So now what they are doing, and this is where electronics engineers are required in large numbers in company like say Bosch, they would say that, most of the things should be done, or calculations or whatever you want to do should be done on that embedded system itself, because processor and embedded systems are becoming more and more powerful. So you don't have to send anything out for processing in the cloud and then getting it back, thus endangering the safety of your product. Or waiting or suffering with the latency, because in your car, latency is a no-no. If your airbag doesn't open within 20 milliseconds, you know the consequence. So edge computing is also a part and very exciting part of your overall electronics experience. So I'm sure my colleague, Mr. Pankaj Pandey, would tell you more about this professional things. But what I would like to leave you with a final thought, and that would be that electronics is the future. If you are a good electronics engineer, then programming is just a byproduct of it. You can program any electronic product that you design. You can design embedded product. You can come up, heck, if you want to be an entrepreneur, just like our Mr. Pankaj Pandey is, you can be an entrepreneur, you can design a product and you can sell it in the market. And so I wish you all the best. I want you to look at all the possible options. And if you would like to give a chance to ECE, I think you will not go wrong. So thank you very much and all the best to you.
Thank you so much, Professor Bhatt. And I'd now like to invite our Professor of Practice from the industry, Mr. Pankaj Pandey. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, sir. And thank you, Dr. Murthy, sir, and Dr. Amit, really setting the context, being a core expert in the subject of, the processors and chip design, and even related to the Verilog VHDL areas also. It was very, interesting for me always to hear Dr. Amit in terms of, his views, how and where it goes, and how the academics is essentially going to provide the kind of opportunities. So, being said a person from industry, it's obviously my job to compliment Dr. Bhatt, who definitely is a person who will bring the best at a subject depth level. As a person from industry, I will just try to extend what Dr. Bhatt was saying, and I will show you a project which my daughter has done. She is a student of Dayanand Sagar University, second year engineering. And what kind of a learning Dayanand Sagar Engineering is offering, you all the participants on the call, will get a direct feel of it. And you will also see a lot of things Dr. Amit has been saying coming into action as she has got an opportunity to work on a project. So let me share my screen. It's a small video, and it's a practical video which is done as a major project, being at second year of engineering itself. So yeah, I'm just sharing my screen.
Yeah, screen visible.
Yeah, my screen is visible. Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Confirmation. Yeah. So what I have is a simple video which covers the entire project, but it gives you the idea of what kind of a learning opportunity someone who wants to see themselves as a part of engineering, and particularly as a part of DSU, which my daughter has got. So this is, the first word is ambient computing. Now, ambient computing is very simple. What you have been doing, talking to the Alexas of the world, the Siris of the world, the Googles of the world, like, tell me a joke, what is a factorial of 20, set a timer, but then extending it, switch on a smart light. So the ambient computing is considered to be a world wherein, we will be surrounded by machines which will be able to talk to us naturally. And all of us are familiar with GPT, right? Chat GPT has gone viral. And just imagine, just like Dr. Bhatt was saying, that if the edge intelligence is there in the refrigerator, the washing machines, the microwave oven, and the machine is able to know what it is made up of, then, we see that a true combination of a complete product like a washing machine, which requires electrical engineering, electronics engineering, computer science, mechanical, all knowledges together, along with the chat GPT kind of an interface, and you talk to the machine. So you can't do that straight away unless you really do something, start something at a project level. Being a student, you have to do something, you have to get your hands dirty and make things happen. So what my daughter has done is she has done a project on ambient computing based approach to identify devices. So first of all, identify devices in the sense what you will design will be very smart, and there are smart devices, but what is there at present, can I make it smart so that when a future product is built, I know how to convert this present product into a futuristic product. So identify devices at your home means what? If I talk to a device, the signatures of the device should tell that what device is this and all of that. How much power this device consumes? What is the state of this device? When you say state of the device means what? If I keep the microwave oven powered on, but I'm not using it, that's a state. It is powered on, but not in use. It may be completely switched off. That's another state. It is being used for heating something. It is being used maybe, in the convection mode. So these are various modes. So you have to identify those modes. So these can be electrical signatures which you can get out of it. So how will you connect it to ambient computing? Ambient computing, consider that I want to know the signature so that I can talk to it. Hey, what are you doing? If I ask a microwave oven, it should say, hey, I'm doing convection here. I'm in a convection mode. I'm trying to, do something for you. Or I'm in a heating mode. I'm trying to heat the food inside and all of that. Then measure. So what if, true intelligence is that the microwave oven at the end of the day tells what is the power consumed by me, or what is the power consumed by a refrigerator at the end of the day. How was your day? Hey, refrigerator, how was your day? So measure its own power and even ask, hey, did you come across some anomalies today? Did you see that there was a voltage fluctuation? You had any trouble anywhere? So that is where, it should be able to measure its own. Like, we are spending a day. Hey, was there a time I had a severe backache because I was sitting for too long, watching a IPL match and did not move, or I was watching a Netflix series, complete all episodes with my friends, and suddenly when I actually got up, I got somewhere, a big pain. So that is an anomaly, or that's a signature you get. So likewise, can the device also talk about some signatures, and that
Pankaj, we lost you. Yeah, Pankaj, are you able to hear us? I think there's some
bandwidth issue. I think he'll join.
right. Students, just bear with us. We are shortly getting him back on the call. Just give us some time, and we are just getting Pankaj back
Hello,
online.
am I audible? Hello, am I audible?
Yeah, Pankaj.
Yeah, sorry. I'm so sorry. There was some disruption in electricity while I was talking about electricity only. And so yeah.
So switch off your video if required.
Yes. Maybe I will be able to save a bit of bandwidth, right? Yeah. So thank you for that quick suggestion, sir. Yeah. So then I'm now talking about project, and again imagine this is not a project being done by the level of expertise of Dr. Bhatt or by me or of a eminent experience of Dr. Murthy's or someone of the experience of Shinde sir. But this is done by a second year engineering student of Dayanand Sagar Institute, and I will show that you can always Google her name and you will be able to see the very first thing. When you try to Google her name, it says that she is a student of second year engineering, and that is there. So now we go ahead. So this is my home structure where I stay in Bangalore, and she created this initial area which is blank out is the lobby. The other area which is blank out is more of a refresh rooms actually kind of. But then you see the pinkish one is the hall, the right one is her own room. The white one is a dining hall. The left hand is another bedroom. The node 05 is actually a kitchen, and node 06 is another bedroom. So it's a 3 BHK wherein node 01, node 06 and node 031 are bedrooms, node 05 is a kitchen, node 021 is the main hall, and then node 042 is a dining hall. And then you have kept the base 00, that means the base node, the devices all are connected. So when I say that it's a smart home application created using wireless sensor network by her, you will see that the entire house is interconnected to a base node. And what is a node basically, right? So practically now we move on. So here you will be able to see that what is a node. So a node is connected to a AC plug. Now to that AC plug, some device is connected and a current transformer, which is a sensor which is connected. Now the input of this sensor, as Dr. Bhatt was mentioning, it can be a Raspberry Pi, an Arduino board, or a particle photon, or any of the SparkFun devices. It can be anything which can form a node. It's all plug and play, interchangeable, intelligent devices she programmed. And then the base node also can be formed using a Raspberry Pi or Arduino. Don't worry if you are not familiar with the terms. These are just the terms which you'll get to know if you see yourself as a part of electronics engineering and being part of DSU at interdisciplinary level. And this is a wireless symbol. So they're all interconnected. And eventually, whatever data is coming, for you to understand the device, ambient computing environment, you have to collect the data and first understand, right? That what is this device doing whole day? How much power it consumes, how it behaves, and all that. So she has done that, a single node definition. Now I move on and I try to play this. So what I see here is that at a next level, that there is actual hardware coming into picture now. So what is that actual hardware? So now whatever I was showing as nodes, you see the actual cooler as node 02 because it is there in that specific room. Then there is another device here, node 04. It will be shown. Here you can clearly see the microwave oven, and inside the kitchen, she is operating a mixer. So all these nodes are connected via the embedded system board with either an Arduino or a Raspberry Pi or a particle photon kind of a xenon boron argon board. So what are these devices? So one is the cooler itself. Then the second node you will be able to see is the refrigerator to which she has connected it. And the third one is a microwave oven, and the fourth one is a mixer. Now she goes on because there are more nodes actually in the house. So these are the further nodes. Here the washing machine she has connected, and here she is doing some power bank charging to a simple this thing from the one of the smart nodes. And again you will see some device here that is I think mostly television, and then the vacuum cleaner also. So let us go ahead and try to see that these things are happening. So yes, the machine is on, the mixer is on, the vacuum cleaner is on, the television is on. So these signatures are coming. She has converted all the appliances into nodes, basically her own embedded system and all. Now suddenly you see an Alexa device. This is an Echo Show device. I hope many of you are aware that Echo Show is there, Echo Dot is there, a lot of variants are there. So this Echo Show device is there, and after collecting all the information, device signatures, on the edge intelligence being built, what is the state of the device, how much power consumption, is it on, is it off, and all of that. Now she gathered all the data, and suddenly she is now trying to build a Alexa skill, which allows her to talk to these devices, right? So you have seen the actual devices, you have seen the actual hardware which she has done, and now she is building a very, very advanced conversational AI Alexa skill. And this is where the concepts which DSU allows you to do is interdisciplinary. You are playing with, actual real world devices, playing with wireless sensor network, trying to do a, smart home application, converting the existing devices into intelligent node, and then trying to play with conversational AI and play with the data and talk to that data. So now let's see, ambient computing is what she's trying to do.
Hi, Sailor. Select a device you would want me to connect to.
So what she has done is she has created an Alexa skill wherein all the devices which she has converted into smart nodes are part of the Alexa skill, like the TV, the vacuum cleaner, washing machines, and all of that. Those nodes are nothing but various devices. So now she has started the interaction with the skill. So this is way beyond, right? That you just do set a timer, tell me a joke, play a song with Alexa. No, this is programming the most advanced AI in the world, that is Alexa basically, right? She's programmed that, and now it is connected to the home. These devices are now connected to Alexa with her own program of AI, and let us see what communication she is doing. And again, understand this is not just communication using voice, but with touch and voice both. Very, very advanced. So she has selected refrigerator.
I am connected to your refrigerator.
So I'm just trying to show a funny part which she did, that it is called speech synthesis markup language. That, hey, it is so funny, right? That I can slow down the voice of Alexa, I can speed it up, I can create various effects. So she has played that. Now, what is there inside the refrigerator when she actually did the node programming? So power consumption.
Node 04.
So this is node 04, and it is whispering also. So whispering is also something which you do. So the refrigerator is funny. It is trying to communicate with you in a funny mode. So you bring the refrigerator to life by using the various speech synthesis markup languages capabilities. So what are these things? So it has anomalies, it has classification, forecast, whole day results of power consumption, and present status, and all of that. So if you look at it, new signatures detected and power consumption. So now she's checking power consumption.
The refrigerator's power consumption as of now is 1.2 kilowatt hours.
So now it has actually told the present power consumption depending on the state of the refrigerator. So now she is doing the time series forecast because she has collected the data for 1 year. 4 million data samples she collected for the refrigerator as a part of this project. So how is my refrigerator health?
There were no anomalies found today.
So now Alexa says that the refrigerator and there is no anomaly. The refrigerator is doing fine. So she also came across one of the cases when there was a big fluctuation of a voltage and suddenly the timer inside the refrigerator was actually damaged and it stopped freezing actually, right? So that was a great experience that Alexa was able to tell, her project was able to tell that the refrigerator has something going wrong and the signature is not right. I detected an anomaly. And then we were able to call the person and that person repaired because it got damaged due to a bad voltage fluctuation. So if you look at, these kind of projects,
in a happy state,
you will get the idea that, what kind of opportunity you get when you come into the field of engineering, wherein you do not just do that engineering in the college environment, but the chance to really do it, go back and apply it to your hostel room or your home or wherever you want, really, right? So that your home also becomes a playground for you. Now we are showing that one of the node is connected to a battery charging, so power bank. So what is this trying to do? So you can even connect this to the live feed. So now you connect it to the live feed.
The live feed of power bank on node 0.
And you can even see that the live feed is now shown on the device itself. So this is a kind of, exposure and projects which you will get a chance, which my daughter is getting as being a part of Dayanand Sagar University, to learn, right? And she's having opportunities to work in, many of the industries. So these are some of the, signatures which she captured and applied various time series algorithms to look at, various parameters of learning in this case, basically. So all in all, what I want to say is that, when you want to pick up, these things at an engineering level, all you need to do is, ensure that you pick the right place to learn. And while I am a person from industry and I myself, enjoy, the guidance of Dr. Murthy and interacting with Dr. Bhatt, but I also wanted to see as a father that my daughter is in safe hands. She's at the right place, right? So this is what is her name, and you can see clearly that she is a part of the Engineering College. And then all her previous works, what all rewards and research she has done in her previous, experience. She has been a winner and an Intel ISEF, participant at the young age of 10th and 12th also. So you will get someone like her as a senior also for you if you, happen to see yourself as a participant in Dayanand Sagar University. So, this is what I wanted to share as my, one of the experience. And this is not just one of the projects she did. Many such similar projects are being done by her. And these are the kind of opportunities, you will get when you get into engineering. It can be any place. All I am trying to request is that make it practical. Be very open. Any field you choose, as Dr. Bhatt was trying to say, that you have to be good in the first 2 years, and then the university is opening up the doors for you to pick up the subjects. I saw one of the very important questions from one of the anonymous attendees, that I figured out my passion, but at present I'm not clear what should I do. The most important skill, as an example, if you take Saurav Ganguly entered the area of cricket as a medium pace bowler, and he ended up scoring 23, 24 centuries as an opening batsman. So all you need to do is keep yourself open. This is a changing world. You need to learn skills building. Build skills which can be used. You should be a fast learner. You should be open. Do not try to get stuck to something. Keep your passion always alive, but you have to open up yourself and learn things which are not limited to. And you can see that while my daughter is a part of computer science engineering, but she is doing all electronics, because DS is an environment which allows you to pick subjects in that area also, and do the interdisciplinary aspect. So it's all about doing walk the talk, and that's the place wherein I found myself to be lucky to have my own interaction with the eminent people on the call, at the same time seeing my daughter studying. So this is what I have for you people on the call. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity, Shinde sir and Murthy sir and Dr. Bhatt, and it was a pleasure to interact with children on the call. Thank you so much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pankaj. It's always a pleasure to see the practical demonstrations that you do. It gives a very good insight. In fact, what you showed today was a good surprise for me also, to see how the development of your own child has taken place in the university. So thank you so much for the trust that you have built in with Dayanand Sagar University. So students, here we are. We are coming to the end of today's session. I hope you enjoyed to know about the trends in electronics and communication industry. We had the Vice Chancellor sir setting the context. We had Professor Bhatt, who talked about how the multidisciplinary approach is there, how the industry today, the EC is an evergreen industry. And if you today look at a career in EC, you can always be one of the major contributors to a project, because it's not just hardware, it's also the software that you get into it. So any project, if you see the demand for EC to be a part of it, you will definitely play an important role in this. And when you look at only computer science engineering students, they will always be just a portion of the project. Wherever there is a coding, wherever there is a tool required, they will come in. But if you look at an EC engineer, he looks into the hardware, he looks into the creation, he looks into the software, he looks into the integration. So a much better, bigger role that also comes in for an EC student. So here we are, and my sincere thanks to all the dignitary speakers who are here today. It was a wonderful session to understand, though we gave you insights in terms of how the AML activity works when it comes to the ECE portion. We also talked about how the VLSI industry, especially with the mobile generation moving upwards, and we are talking about the chip industry, it's always going to be in demand. And IoT and system on chip, and this is VLSI and embedded systems, it's always going to be in demand. So jobs is something that an EC engineer need not worry about. The more you look into your applications, the more you look into your knowledge, the more you are going to be successful in your academic outcomes, in your project outcomes. And we at Dayanand Sagar University have also got the incubation facility available today at the campus. We have a lot of company labs that are set up, and these are the places where you are able to give shape to your thoughts. You are able to give shape to your projects. And these projects is nothing but when you contribute heavily towards that particular thought of yours to make it into a realized product. That's where today the entrepreneurs are born. And Dayanand Sagar University welcomes a lot of this from our students. And hence, we have the startup village that is being set up in the campus, where the students can take advantage of it. And these are such students where they don't talk about jobs. They talk about how to employ their own friends, or from their batches into their own thoughts, and look forward to paying salaries to them. So which means the origin of an entrepreneurship can happen today at this campus. So, before we end, this is a good piece of information for all the students who are here, and especially the students who have been enrolled for the Comet K or for the Unigauge examinations. If you are enrolling through the ERA Foundation for the Unigauge or for the Comet K examinations and you have paid the registration fees to the particular agency, then you get the entitlement also to write the Dayanand Sagar scholarship admission test. This is a scholarship admission test, and there is a scholarship to a minimum of 75,000 rupees to an upward of about 1,50,000 rupees for the entire year and for the entire program. So each year you will be getting that scholarship if you are able to look at this particular test. We have the test happening on the April 29th and the 30th. In case if you haven't yet filled up your forms, please go into the website of dsu.edu.in and you can fill up this particular form, so that in case if you are coming through Unigauge or coming through the Comet K activity, let us know so that the application fees will be waived off for such candidates. Otherwise, students who are not taking up the Unigauge or who are not taking up the Comet K examinations but are a part of this particular webinar, please log into our website, fill up the application forms, and you will be eligible to take up the test, which is happening on the 29th or the 30th. The choice can be taken up by you. It's a 2 hours test under the home-based proctor test model. And here are our numbers. We have the incoming call numbers where you can dial to the university, which is 080-4646-1800. And the website already I shared with you, dsu.edu.in. So with this, we come to the end of today's campus info sessions. I'm sure the students must have enjoyed this. If you have any queries, you can continue to put it in the Q&A box, or you can write back to us with the various websites through which we must have got back to you in terms of your registrations. So thank you so much. Have a safe day, and we look forward to seeing you during our DSET examinations. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you all.